Hey guys, it's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Riding home from work today, a little drizzly, a little wet, but luckily it's a day off for the kids down here from school, so the roads are nice and clear. I have that mic set up and the new chin mount on here, so we're testing it out today on the ride home from work. And I figured as I'm cruising home from work here and having fun, because some of the roads are a little more empty than normal, I talk about my first ever road crash. So been riding bikes since I was like 10, 11 years old, somewhere there, a long time ago. You know, dirt bikes and four-wheelers and things like that. And you know, back in my 20s, had a couple road bikes, an FZR 600, I had a Katana 750, you know, 89 or 90, and you know, enjoyed those bikes a lot, but you know, never wrecked on the road. Was fortunate enough to never have any accidents, and you know, did some foolish things back then, but you know, never crashed. So you know, fast forward, was without a bike for a few years as I built a family and stuff like that, and you know, got my 2021 MT-09 that I'm riding today, and got this back in September. And in December, about the middle of December, I had my first road wreck. Ended up rear-ending an SUV going about 15 miles an hour in traffic. Took my eyes off the SUV for just a minute, and next thing you know, I was kissing the back of the SUV and I was on the ground. So here's the scenario. I left my house, and when I leave my house and get out to the main road, I can take a left, which takes me by the high school, or I can take a right and go around the block and avoid the high school drop-off traffic. So typically I would go right and, you know, go around the block and miss this high school traffic. But for whatever reason that morning, I had a lot of things on my mind. I thought, I'm just going to go left and go by the high school. It's a little shorter, get to work a little faster. And, you know, I've gone that way before. It's no big deal. It's just a little stop and go traffic. Plus, it didn't look as backed up as normal. So I started cruising that way and, you know, hit this stop and go traffic. So rolling along in traffic, and you know, it's two lanes there, so there's a row of cars on my right hand side that are going into the high school to drop their kids off, and then the through traffic, which is in the left lane, which again is still stop and go because people are coming in and out of the high school and whatever else. Well, a car in that right hand lane put their signal light on, looked like they were going to try to jump out of the drop off lane and come into my lane. At that moment, I looked over at them and then looked back up, and that's how I ended up in the back of the SUV. Luckily, I was only going about 15 miles an hour, so I wasn't hurt real bad. I had a sprained shoulder, and you know, had full gear on it, gloves and jacket and helmet and boots and everything. So other than my sprained shoulder, I made it out okay. In addition, though, to that car cutting in front of me, there was a black car in front of the SUV that I hit, and there was clear sailing in front of them, right? They should have been able to just keep going. Unfortunately, there were kids on the median he had thought that they were going to step out in front of him, so he stopped short, causing the SUV that I hit to stop short, and there we go, bang. You know, again, very lucky that it was only 10 to 15 miles an hour. I wasn't going very fast at all when I hit the back of the SUV. Damage to the bike included the mirror bracket here that broke, the front fender, a little bit of scratching on the engine case, but otherwise very fortunate that the rest of the bike was in pretty good shape. You know, I so far I JB welded that bracket, and I have a carbon fiber front fender on order that I'm waiting for. So, what did I learn from this accident? Well, I can tell you everything that went wrong. I got distracted by the car that was going to pull into the lane. I didn't leave enough distance between myself and the SUV that was in front of me. I could have certainly left a lot more distance, you know, an extra car length or so, and I probably would have had enough time because we were going so slow, to slam on my brakes and stop before hitting it as I noticed they stopped. And I was driving distracted otherwise. So I had other things on my mind as I was riding into work that day. My cousin was in town. He was staying with us looking for an apartment. You know, I had a lot of stuff going on at work. We had recently been through an acquisition and some other stuff. So lots of things contributed to that accident that morning. And what I learned was very simple. Don't ride distracted. Very simple. Do not ride if you're not in the right mindset. Don't ride upset. Don't ride angry. Don't ride confused. Make sure that when you're riding your motorcycle, everything you're doing is about riding that motorcycle at that moment. Be focused. Be looking ahead of you. Be looking ahead of the cars ahead of you. Make sure there's nothing happening out there. Right? That line of vision and everything out in front of you is so important when you're riding your motorcycle, to stay safe and to make sure that you end up going home to your family. Okay? Leave extra distance. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be right up somebody's butt. You know, respect the power of the motorcycle, that kind of stuff. But again, the biggest thing I learned, stay focused. Focus, focus, focus. You know what I mean? Because if you're riding your vehicle and your motorcycle and you're not focused 100% on everything that's around you and keeping eyes out for cars pulling out of intersections and throughways and things like that, you will end up in a wreck. And you know, it may not be like mine where I was only going 15 miles an hour and, you know, little bruised shoulder or sprained shoulder and done, right? It could be a lot worse. Okay. The other thing I learned, wear your gear. Okay, don't get me wrong, when it's real warm out, I don't ride with a jacket. I get it. I ride with long sleeves all the time. South Florida, we get the sunshine, so I like to ride long sleeves for the sun. But I will not ride without boots, a helmet, and gloves. Okay? Yeah, I know, as I take my jacket off, I'm taking a risk, right? There's the risk of road rash and stuff like that as I fall. You know what I mean? If I fall down and start sliding, I can get some bad road rash, or I could get banged up. Same thing right now. I have my work pants on, so I'm wearing khaki pants, right? So if I went down right now, I would definitely get some road rash. But you know what wouldn't happen? I wouldn't end up with mangled feet and broken arms. My skull would be in good shape, and my gloves would protect my hands and stuff like that. So, you know, bare minimum, wear proper footgear when you ride. Wear your gloves, wear your helmet, right? And be reasonable with what you do on your motorcycle. Don't get me wrong. We all like to twist that throttle and get hammered, right? I mean, I'm going 65 and a 45 right now, you know, because it's fun to bang through the corners and stuff. But you gotta pay attention. Always, always, always pay attention. All right? Never get distracted by what you're doing. Okay? What's on the road in front of you is the most important thing you can do. Look through the turns. You know what I mean? And again, if you just had a fight with your girlfriend, or you're pissed off at your boss, or you're upset because your favorite, you know, because somebody died or a pet died or something, if you're not in the right mindset, take the car, man. Don't ride the bike that day. You'll be better off. Because I can tell you, that morning I was distracted, right? Again, my cousin was in town looking for a house, place to live. I had some stressors at home, stressors at work, and I wasn't focused on riding the motorcycle. And because of that, and because of those distractions, I ended up in a wreck, my first road wreck ever. So, you know, that's the lessons I learned. Okay, I learned, don't be distracted. Okay, focus on the ride, focus on what's your surroundings. And you know, if you can do all that, I'm not saying you'll never wreck, but you'll reduce your chances of a wreck huge if you're just paying attention. Wow, look at that rainbow. If you're just paying attention, everybody, you can see that rainbow on the video. What a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? But if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you will wreck. Okay? the next part about it, about, you know, staying safe and everything like that, again, wear your gear, guys, right? Wear your helmet, wear your gloves, wear your boots, you know, and wear proper riding boots, okay? Even if you work in an office like I do, okay, you can get nice boots that will look good under khaki pants, or leave a pair of dress shoes at the office, or bring a pair in and get changed when you get there. But wear your boots, guys, okay? Wear your gloves, wear your helmet, okay? I ain't got no hair, right? I'm a bald man, right? I've been shaving my head for years. But if you got hair, bring a comb. For your girls out there, tie your hair up, make sure it looks nice, you know? But I'm telling you, wear your gear. Helmets, gloves, boots, 100%. Long pants, 100%. I will never wear shorts on a motorcycle. The worst I do is my khaki pants for my commute to work. Otherwise, I am 100% jeans, boots, I mean, long sleeves. It sounds dumb, but even long sleeves on a low-speed crash, long sleeves are going to help you. You know what I mean? You're going to have more protection than you do in just t-shirt, right? Don't get me wrong, I get it gets hot. Listen, I live in South Florida. I know it gets hot. So I can understand wearing a t-shirt. Again, I wear a long sleeve because of the sun. You know, in a long cotton shirt, the air blows right through it anyways when you're riding. You can pull the sleeves up when you're stopped. But helmet, gloves, boots, bare minimum. Jacket, great idea. You know what I mean? For me, a lot of times my jacket is for situations like this. I mean, obviously I'm riding home, it don't matter as much, but if it was raining like this and I was on my way into work, I'd want my clothes protected, okay? Alright guys, lessons learned from my accident. Don't ride distracted, okay? If you're not in the right mindset, if you have other things on your mind, if you're troubled, don't ride your bike that day, guys. Get in the car, call an Uber, do something else besides ride your motorcycle that day until you're in the right mindset, okay? I was distracted that morning and that led to my accident, okay? Second thing, honestly, guys, wear your gear, okay? Gloves, helmet, boots, jacket, that all protected me that morning from the severe injuries, okay? My visor on my helmet was scratched up. Well, if I didn't have my helmet on, my face would have been what was scratched up, because I would have smashed it into the back of the SUV, okay? So do those things and stay vigilant, okay? We don't need you guys out there wrecking for something stupid. Alright? That's all we're going to have for today, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up now. I'll get the rest of my ride home. We'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.